Hi boys and girls, it's me Butch. My name is Terry David Silvercloud. I'm not native, just sounds that way. Today is the 6th of January 2026. It's 20 after 4 in the afternoon in Vancouver. And what's been happening with me, I told you my name right. See, I'm getting dotty. I'm 81. Terry David Silvercloud, that's me. Butch. I go by Butch. So what I've been trying to do all afternoon is to, oh, you don't want to see the glasses, do you? I've been trying to, I'm a nerd, but I'll look less nerdy or something. I'm vain too. I bought a DJI Nano camera because it's so cute, and I was going to do a lot of walking around downtown Vancouver videos using it, but it's good. I can't even get it to work today. So I had a plan of what to do with it, and I've even tried. I just wasted a whole shitload of time. So here I am, and I wanted to post a video today because, or every day I think I'm going to do it. Dry mouth. Because I am 81, and although my physical heart, the old beater, it's not in bad shape for my age, but I have chemical issues with it. It just has trouble knowing what sort of beat to keep, and sometimes it even stops for a bit and says, I gotta take a rest. So in order to keep it stable, I have to take a whole poop load of pills, like old people do, and plus I'm in pain management because I've been in car accidents and had falls and sports injuries, and I've been around the block, that sort of thing. So where am I going with all this? I totally forgot. See, I totally forgot. So what just because I'm afraid I'm going to croak at any moment. So a couple of things I want to do while I have a chance is to be useful to the LGBTQ community, because when I grew up, 60 to 80 years ago, it just wasn't good. Things have improved a whole lot, and not only that, there's a whole lot of culturally different things going on now with social media and all of that. But I do want to try and give information, if I can, that would be useful to you younger, or anyone actually, queer types, that just anything that can be beneficial to you. And so what I thought I was going to talk about today, and now I'm here, I'm going to, is that one of the topics I see floating around, I don't know why, but that's what I've seen, because I've asked the Tube to show me more LGBTQ content. And when I watch the content from some of the younger viewers particularly, they have debates about cut versus uncut and all of that. Now I forgot why I was even going to talk about that. But I wanted to really quickly give you a quick history. See, I totally forgot. There was a reason I wanted to tell you about that, and I forgot what it was. But the quick history is that during the Second World War in the United States, so many men who were uncut were being refused service in the Army because they hadn't been taught to pull their, that's what I remember what I was going to talk about. They couldn't pull their foreskins back, and they either just couldn't, or they had developed problems because of that. So the Surgeon General recommended that American boys be cut. So you find that American boys and Jewish boys and Muslim boys, they usually cut. Which likes cut. So now I remembered why. This is sort of for advice. Like, my boyfriend and I were both oral. I'm trying to be within community standards for the Tube, and we like to do each other every evening. We would take turns who went first. And my boyfriend, I guess, learned from me. I don't know. He was pretty good. But I had a lot of experience. I'd been through a lot of boys before I met my boyfriend, and I had a lot of practice on him because when I first met him, even though he was cut because he was young and shy, he was very nervous, and it took me a while to make his equipment do what I wanted it to do. And once that started happening, we we became boyfriends. I asked him to be my boyfriend right away. I just fell in love with him. It's another story. So I'm talking about what's the best way to do it? Because I'm an expert. What's really important is the use of your hand, not just the mouth, but the hand, and a steady rhythm. Now, the difference between cut and uncut is a lot of uncut guys, if they haven't learned, especially if they haven't learned to lower the shades, expose, like they may be more sensitive in many ways, and but the way you want to make the gear work is a steady rhythm and passing over the roof of the end, the bulby part. That's where all the nerves are. And if it keeps getting a regular rhythm, it'll start interpreting that as wake up everybody, something's going to happen and I'm going to make it happen. You know what I'm talking about. I have to be careful what I'm saying here, I think. So you want to establish a regular rhythm with your hand and your mouth at the same time if you can. Roll your lips over your teeth so you don't bite anybody. And let his little tip slide over your tongue. And next thing you're going to be having cream with your coffee. But it's the hand is very important, and a regular beat. And with the uncut guys, make sure the foreskin is what's lining this part of your hand. So it's the foreskin that's going over the tip, not your hand, because that'll irritate them, unless you're very skilled with your tongue. But it's the rhythm and using your hand. And also, because I'm going to shut up soon, and I'm a nerd, and a lot of what I know in physics is self-taught. Apparently, I'm a pretty smart kind of guy. I'm not a genius, and I don't know what I don't know. But I have discovered that a lot of what I know or what I've worked out apparently isn't either well known or something. I seem to be the only one that thinks this way. So I think I know that some of you out there, some of you are really smart. You know I'm not wacko. I'm a nerd just like you. I like quantum physics. Left spin, right spin, wobble. I love that kind of poop. So, before I go, I just have to pass on some of my basic theories for the nerds out there, and because you're not going to find this in textbooks. Butchie's Poo is telling you, maybe if you're a young nerd, maybe if you're like 20 or I don't know how young you got to be somewhere, and you're looking for something to write your thesis on right now, maybe one of you boys in India or something, you're looking for something upon which to write a thesis. I'm telling you, nobody, they're going to think you're nuts, but it's going to be right. So go with it. What makes a solid a solid? What makes a gas? What makes a liquid? And what about the in-between? Yeah, I'll talk about that, but I'm going to try to be quick. So the fundamental difference is a solid, hi there, a solid has pointy parts. That's a solid. We all know that's a solid. I don't know, dodecahedron or something. Stellated, must be these 12. I don't know, let's not worry about that. So here I'm going to show you a molecule. Let's call this a molecule, because that makes it easier. And these pointy parts are the electrons holding everything together. They're in their little orbitals. These are those little red colored dots. They're the orbitals holding the structure together, and they're spinning left on one side and spinning right. The nerds know what I'm talking about. So the solids have pointy parts. You don't have to be a nerd to see what I'm trying to get at here, do you? You don't have to be a nerd to see this. This is a solid. This is a solid. So now I'm going to start spinning the whole thing up, and I'm going to spin it faster and faster and faster. And the guys on the equator say, yeah, this, let's slow down here a bit. And what happens is the solid starts to melt. And it starts turning into a liquid. As the orbitals get further and further and further apart, the next thing you know, you have yourself a sphere or a spheroid, and the pointy parts have gone away. You got my drift? Liquid. Solid, liquid. Solid, liquid. How hard is that? So it's the vertices and the electrons and how they stabilized physical surfaces. Butch says, this is Johnson solid J26, J26. Old man Johnson thought this one up. He was into cataloging solids. Well, he was into cataloging all kinds of stuff. But he cataloged what he thought were the basic solids, like they were like the unique. There's only one of these, and if there's two of them, it's because there's a left spinning one and a right spinning, or an upside. There's some mirror version of it, but there's only one of them. So this is actually up here, dear. I'm back. There you go. You with me again? So this here, I don't know if we're tracking. Let's get us going. There we go. Atta girl. So this here is Johnson solid J26, and you can see it's got pointy parts, and it looks like two pup tents. I have scribblings all over it because this is one of my basic models. It's called a gyro bifastigium, and which says this is the fundamental bits of reality if it could be. That's what shape they pretty much don't have a choice escaping, because this shape, either one of them alone or two of them, because that's just how it's going to work out anyway, they can fill the universe and not have any space left over. If you had enough of these suckers, they can line up against each other, wall to wall, from here to there, from forever to forever, from upness to downness forever, and not have a single bit of space left in between, as long as they're exactly the shape. If they gain energy, they're going to want to say, you need to move now, and they would like to spin. And Butch is telling you they do, and in fact, they don't ever actually do this. They're always spinning. But if they could, that's what shape they would be. And that would be if they could shrink. But what's going to happen is that they're going to be some sort of a spheroid, and Butchie Poo is telling you that what they're going to be is a left and right spinning tachyon, or a whole bunch of left and right spinning tachyons, and that these tachyons are going to be what is going to compose the next bigger object, with which many of you will be familiar if you're a nerd like me, the electron. So the electron, I know in quantum physics it's the point source, but it's an object, and it has the the Planck constant in there. It's a somethingness, and it has here-ness, and it has there-ness, and upness, and downness, and you can't get away from that one, and you have to throw that 6 decimal in there to cover its ass, and we do, and then things work. We literally, trust me, pulled that number out of thin air, and it worked. That was quite a feat. Let's not get lost here, Butch. So Butch is telling you, and you're not going to find, you may want to think about this if you're thinking about writing a thesis, that there are left spinning, just like everything else, and right spinning tachyons, and they are smaller than the electron, and the electron sets the speed of light. The electron is the speed of light. It's the thing we use. We have mirror technology to see fractions of an electron, but technically we can only see one electron at a time. If it occupies, if we can blur its motion, we can make it look bigger. Technically though, it has size, and just like resolution in film, resolution in digital, there is a smallest object. And for us For us, it's the, come up here, dear. Where'd you go? Trying to watch what my tracking device, it gets confused by the yellow ball. I'll make the yellow ball come up here a little bit. It likes the yellow ball. I'm being tracked. No, I totally forgot what I was talking about. So the electron, if you could take, we know that it's some sort of size, the electron. We have a couple of different measurements. Doesn't matter what you pick because we're just going to approximate here. But if you picked one of them and you lined electrons end for end for end for end for end, side by each for 1 light second, you would discover, probably to your surprise, there are just about exactly the right amount of electrons for that physical size we think the electron is to be a fraction of that 1 light second. Did that make sense? If it took a gazillion electrons, if you do the math, you'll find that it was all based on that one width of one electron. The electron is the speed of light, and how it transmits energy is by its spin or its physical motion, or both, and it does both. And fortunately that gives us alternating current, direct current, and magnetic waves, because it's surrounded by more if it's not surrounded by, space is tachyons. Trust me, space is tachyons. To them, there is no empty space anywhere. Space is tachyons. And they're providing the push, because to them, being much smaller than the speed of light, they are traveling at tachyon speed, which, depending on how small they actually are that much, part of the diameter or the circumference, the half spin of the electron. So the tachyons, Butch is telling you this, and I know that some of you young queers out there are nerds just like me. I taught myself how television set. This is back when people were just getting TVs. I taught myself way back when I was like 13, 14 years old how a television set worked, how a radio worked, how a vacuum tube worked. And then right around that same time, they were inventing this brand new thing called the transistor. Like, what's that? So I had to teach myself how a transistor worked too. And basically everything right now is using transistors. They're basically an off-on switch. At the basic level, they have 2 different types. It's sort of a design thing for whatever you're going to use them for, but the nerds know what I'm talking about. There's 2 basic types of these off-on switch, and now with they're just etching the transistors right on the motherboard. There is no transistor sticking up when the motherboard is being made for your smartphone or your computer. The entire transistor, in fact, stacks of transistors are 3-dimensionally being stacked upon each other on the motherboard. So the board is thousands and thousands and thousands of transistors, and they're just off-on switches and triggered by code. You could start with 8 switches, which most of you use for everything, and you pass 8 off and on signals at the same time at very, 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 very high speed into the computer, and it knows what to do with them, because those signals reach a gate, and the gate either says yes or no, and you're on your way. We'll just talk long enough. So did I give some gay information? I think I did. And I'm really upset about my DJI Nano, because I'm really poor. I'm old, I'm poor. I didn't chase money, and then life had some bad turns, some of which I should have foreseen coming, but I wasn't paying attention. And I lost a lot of what I should have ended up with. But I'm very fortunate to have what I do have. And I just want, with my remaining days, to teach the gay community, the guys most. I know there's girls out there. Hi girls, I know there's some girls come check me out too. I don't know much about you girls. I really know a lot about guys. and girls feel safe around me because I'm not chasing them for sexual reason. Usually I find them interesting to talk to sometimes. Yeah, I do run into some, they're either brainiac girls or they're girls that have been around. They're sometimes older women that have, they've had a lot of experience and had a decent enough education. Uh, I like being around smart people because I want to learn things. I don't know what I don't know. Okay, I think I've gone on like a really long time, haven't I? Has this not been a really long time? Probably. I know it's recording. I'm calming down about being upset with my little nano camera not working. I don't know what to do about that. I want a little camera that I can shoot 4K video upon and be dependable. And clearly 4K is a risky operation with the DJI Nano, and I'm really upset about that because I really wanted it to work. Is that enough? Is enough? If you like me, give me a like. If you hate me and you want to give me a dislike, you're probably you had to be registered to do that anyway. So unless you're trying to hide your channel, which you're probably trying to do, gee, tell me why you hate me. I'm just trying to somehow be useful and entertaining. Oops, where am I? Am I entertaining enough? I'm trying. Oh, I am going to shut up. Don't forget to exercise. Which exercises, You don't get this way, but no pain, no gain, kids. Sorry about that. But whatever your body type is, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. Fat, skinny, you got to decide what your skeletal shape might work for you, what you think you want, and ask yourself what you have to do to make that happen. And if you want to lose weight, well, that's a hard one, obviously, but it can be done. Don't rush it. Just take your time and be reasonable in your expectations and goals. But the easiest way, aside from cutting back food, is, well, that's the best way. Well, I try not to eat too much, and I love ice cream, and I drink whole milk. Can't stand anything less than whole milk. I drink a lot of coffee, and I put a lot of sugar in it. But I usually only eat one sort of meal a day, really. And then I might snack on cookies or good cookies. Like, they cost a lot. But they're usually, I buy them at the bakery, and they're usually cheaper if you buy the large box. So I buy the Safeway oatmeal raisin cookies lately for snack food, but I vary it from time to time. And now Butchie Poo's going to shut up because I just go on and on and on like a dripping tap. So give me a like if you like me, and if you hate me, tell me what I could do or what you want to see. And I'm just going to keep doing this. I have to walk up to the camera to stop you recording, and so I'm going to do that right now, okay? Bye-bye from Butch, and I'm going to walk up to the camera and press the stop, okay? Bye from Butch.